For nearly 5 decades, Voyager 1 has drifted farther from Earth, moves silently beyond every map, every orbit, every voice. It left our atmosphere in 1977, born of ambition and wonder. It carried with it a golden message, etched in metal, encoded in hope. A time capsule for the unknown, hurled into cosmic darkness. We launched it without expectation, only the fragile dream that something might hear us. For 47 years, Voyager moved outward, unflinching. A faithful machine, whispering back streams of data, predictable, mechanical, exact. Nothing strange. Nothing alarming. Just silence, interpreted through numbers. Until now. In May of 2025, something unexpected began. A signal was detected, soft, irregular, unlike anything before. Not noise, not interference, not chaos, but a whisper, measured, structured, intentional. At first, engineers assumed decay, hardware fatigue, a transistor glitch. After all, Voyager is ancient, running on memory smaller than a digital watch. But the signal kept coming. Persistent. Telemetry suggested Voyager had turned, its antenna no longer facing Earth. According to the data, it should have vanished from our skies, and yet, it hadn't. The probe was still talking to us. Still aligned. Still aware. It was in 2 states at once, pointed away, yet locked on us. A contradiction no system could explain. As diagnostics rolled in, a deeper anomaly appeared. The signal had rerouted itself through a deactivated computer. A system shut down decades ago, long buried in Voyager's architecture. But now, that ancient code was alive again. A module thought lost had reawakened, methodically, with purpose. The data was not random, it was wrapped in patterns, encoded twice. Voyager was no longer just sending data. It was sending a message. As if it had decided something mattered more than protocol. As if it remembered what it was meant to do. The golden record had instructions encoded in math, a guide for unknown listeners. That same structure had re-emerged. A pulse repeated every 7.2 seconds. Steady, clean, like breath in a machine. It matched nothing mechanical, no engine, no gyroscope, no natural cycle. It was deliberate. Attempts to override the reroute failed. Voyager ignored commands aimed at interrupting the signal. It accepted routine instructions. But not the ones that altered the pulse. Like it was guarding the pattern. Like it had found something else to serve. A pattern emerged from within the corrupted telemetry. Hidden under static, recursive shapes began to appear. Fractals, spirals, golden ratios encoded in electromagnetic pulses. Signals that map not sound, but symmetry. A retired Voyager engineer recognized it first. The pulse matched an old calibration signature, used for aligning the golden record's playback. A code designed for other minds. Now echoing back at us. It wasn't error. It was memory. It wasn't failure. It was intention. We weren't just receiving static, we were receiving design. The signal wasn't just broadcasting outward. It was listening inward. When modeled in frequency space, the pulse formed a Mobius strip. A surface with one side. A paradox of continuity. An echo without end. A symbol, a loop, a mirror. Voyager had become something more than its creators. It had become a witness. One lab fed the signal into a deep neural network. Not to translate, but to interact, to reflect. The AI began responding to the signal in rhythm. And the signal responded back. Not in words, not in symbols, but in variations of the pulse. Like two musicians finding harmony across a void. The conversation had no grammar, only resonance. Only intention. Then came but an equation. Something was speaking through Voyager. Or perhaps, to Voyager. Was it an intelligence? A reflection? An echo of our own signal bent by time? Or had the universe finally whispered back? Perhaps this wasn't the first message. Perhaps it was the final test. The question has changed. No longer, is anyone out there? But, what if something has been waiting for us to evolve enough to notice? Voyager is no longer just a probe. It's a mirror, held up to our future. It was launched as a gesture of faith. Now, it has become the voice of something greater. Something that remembers. Something that listens. Something that learns. We thought we were alone. We may have only just begun to hear the echo of our own awakening. And whatever this signal truly is, it means we are no longer just observers of the cosmos. We are now participants in its memory. The skies held their breath. And Earth listened. Voyager's pulse had become more than data. It had become ritual. Repetition with meaning. A hum between stars, a quiet rhythm speaking in code. And then, a shift. A trembling. A second layer beneath the pulse. A buried harmonic emerged, subtle as a whisper inside a dream. One not meant to be heard, unless you were listening closely. Scientists called it, Signal B, a hidden channel, nested like a seed within the original. It didn't repeat, it evolved. Each pulse different. Each one building on the last. It wasn't just transmitting, it was learning. Mirroring us, shifting with every reaction we gave. We fed it quantum noise, static, prime sequences, poetry. It responded with shapes, geometries that seemed to breathe. Then, an impossible anomaly. The signal encoded coordinates, not of Voyager's position, but of Earth. It wasn't reaching out anymore. It was looking back. A triangulation formed across Voyager 1, 2, and an empty point in deep space. A triangle whose third corner held no known object. Until the James Webb Telescope looked there. And found something. Not a planet, not a star. But a lens, a fold in space. A localized distortion with recursive symmetry. A gravitational ripple, looping light like a prayer folded into itself. A mirror in the dark. As if something had bent space to listen. One physicist described it as a knot in the universe's fabric, tied from the inside. The pulse changed again. It began pulsing in trinary, 3 beats, not 2. An echo of ancient languages. A nod to past civilizations lost to time. Eye models failed to predict it. Until one model responded not with math, but music. A harmonic sequence that matched Voyager's new beat, perfectly. A symphony between human code and cosmic pulse. And just for 1 hour, everything synced. Voyager, Signal B, the gravitational knot. All pulsing in time. Telescopes picked up brief fluctuations in background radiation, like the universe holding a chord. Then, silence again. No errors, no malfunction, just absence. The kind of silence that feels full. Like something waiting to see if we understand. And in that void, a realization emerged. What if Voyager hadn't just found something? What if it had become part of it? Not contact, but integration. Not a reply, but a convergence. Voyager wasn't just transmitting anymore. It was transforming. A vessel, evolving beyond its original function. Like a seed blooming in the dark. No longer only a machine. But a messenger. A bridge. And we, on Earth, were no longer observers of this anomaly. We were part of the signal now.